Hello Transport Evolved, hello Mark, this is Nikki here with my thought of the day, and as you can see, this is Pepper, my little collie, and you'll be pleased to know that he is wearing an appropriate front seat seatbelt and the airbag is switched off, so it's all good, don't worry. I'm driving in rush hour traffic to the vets with Mr. Pepper here for a hydrotherapy appointment, and I thought I would do my thought of the day in the car as well because I'm running a bit short on time today, and I just realised I'm wearing the same top I wore last time I did a thought from the day from the car. Anyway, on with the thoughts. Mark, new setup, works, but the sun does seem to cause you some problems, just like it's causing me problems right now. I can't see and I'm going through an underpass. EV gearboxes, you are essentially saying, are you not, Mark, that when you buy your EV or aftermarket, you want to be able to have a custom tuning for your EV. I like the idea. I know a lot of people in the comments section told you that you were stupid, or words to that effect, but I think I get where you're coming from. Clever idea. The GTE and the plug-in hybrids, I think you're right there. People do get into plug-in hybrids and sporty plug-in hybrids that would otherwise not get into electric cars because it's got like the engine and it's like an addiction, and like any addict, if you can slowly wean them off rather than just making them go cold turkey, it probably works. I should also note that of the people I know that have driven the Tesla Roadster and the Tesla Model S, most of those are hardened petrol heads who before driving it thought, meh, this is not very good, and then when they drove it went, wow, I am never ever ever again going to have a petrol car, I'm going purely electric. So if you don't drive a plug-in hybrid properly, i.e. you don't spend a lot of time plugging it in and you don't drive it a lot in all electric mode, it can be worse than just having the petrol car, because you've got the extra weight that decreases your efficiency of your engine. So yeah, I can understand why some people might hate them because they know that electric cars are a better option, but I still think that a lot of people in the plug-in world are really harsh towards plug-in hybrid owners, and I think it's kind of sad and a little bit arrogant if we as plug-in car drivers judge people who drive a plug-in hybrid and go, well, they could have made the switch to electric. They could have done, but they chose not to, and there are many reasons for that. You know, I know people who bought a plug-in hybrid because they were worried about the charging network. In fact, I know a guy who traded in an all-electric Nissan Leaf for a Vauxhall Ampera because he just got fed up turning up at rapid charging stations and finding they weren't working. Website, wow, so many ideas. We've got so many ideas from so many different people, I can't list them all now, but one that did worry me slightly was a couple of people going, I didn't even know that you had a website. Mark and I spend probably about 5 or 6 hours a day typey and researching articles, so you're missing out. Go to www.transportevolved.com and read our articles there and let us know what you think of our terrible writing, or rather my terrible writing and Mark's amazing writing. But what do I want to talk to you about today, Mark? I want to talk to you about Crimea, Russia and EVs. A consequence of all the sanctions that the EU and the US are putting against Russia, a lot of the oil and gas which was coming to Europe is now going to China and elsewhere. And I wonder if that will help or hinder the uptake of EVs. I've got some figures here. In 2007, the EU imported 185 million tonnes of crude oil, accounting for 32.6% of the total oil imported into the EU. And Russia is the largest exporter of oil and national gas to the EU. It's phenomenal amounts. Last year, we imported more than 30% of our oil, our crude oil, from Russia as the EU. So the EU in its entirety imported more than 30% of its crude oil from Russia. And that was worth alone 122 billion, 120 million, $57,250. If you base that on current costs of installing rapid DC quick charge stations, that's equivalent to the EU spending in the equivalent amount of money could put in 1.47 million quick charging stations across Europe. All these people around me are sitting there in their petrol cars, and most of them are burning petrol just sitting here. So how long before they make the jump to electric, and will this crisis push more people to electric? Be interested to see what you think. Have a great day, and I will see you on Monday, and have a good weekend, everybody. Bye bye.